Hey guys, Gerald Richardson here. So we've been in the sales market for the last few years, and it's been tough for home buyers, especially those looking to buy a home here in the Raleigh-Durham area of North Carolina. Because of limited inventory, homes that are priced right and shows well do not last long, and buyers are finding themselves bidding against other buyers. Here are 6 tips for buying in the sales market. First tip, get pre-approved with the right financing. Buyers absolutely need to be pre-approved before starting their home search. There's no, I'm just looking and will get pre-approved when I find something. Most likely that house will no longer be available during the time you're getting pre-approved. And sales are requiring pre-approvals with offers and will not consider your offer at all when there are multiple offers. Bottom line, you are saving yourself time and frustration to get pre-approved before starting your home search. Notice, I also said with the right financing. Unfortunately, with competing offers, if your loan requires the seller to make repairs before closing, or they need to provide some kind of concessions, your offer will be at a disadvantage. Cash is king, but if you don't have the funds and need a loan to buy a house, it's best to have a loan that doesn't have those type of requirements in order to be competitive. Second tip, be prepared to provide your best and strongest offer as your first offer. In the sales market, it's common to be competing with other buyers, so you may only get one chance to get your offer in. Even if there's multiple offers, you want to provide your best offer up front and make it strong enough to persuade the sellers to go ahead and accept your offer right away. Unless the listing has been on the market for a while or the seller is highly motivated, in the sales market, it's rare to go back and forth with offers and counter offers like we would have if we were in a normal real estate market. Third, know your max budget. You want to know your max budget when shopping for a house and placing offers. You want to understand and be comfortable with your monthly mortgage payment at your approved loan amount. You also want to know how much you're willing to go above the seller's asking price if need be, and decide if you're willing to pay the difference out of pocket if it comes down to it. Again, with competing offers, if you have the funds and you're still within your budget, you should consider offering at or above the seller's list price. Keep in mind, if you go above the list price, you may have to pay the difference out of pocket, depending on what's allowed by your loan and the appraisal. Next, consider submitting non-contingent offers. Here in North Carolina, we have done away with financial and inspection contingencies in our standard offer to purchase contracts. It went with straight due diligence periods and due diligence fees. The due diligence fees are paid directly to the seller and are non-refundable, but they are credited to you at closing. When presenting your best offer, consider sending a strong, non-refundable due diligence fee while also agreeing to buy the property as is. Of course, you will still do your inspections, appraisals, and due diligence on the property so that you know what you're getting yourself into with the purchase. Unless there's something significantly wrong with the house, the expectation is that you're buying a house as is. Obviously, there's more risk to the buyer when buying a house with no contingency. But in order to beat out competing offers in the sales market, this is an option for buyers to consider. The fifth tip, you need to be flexible and responsive. As mentioned earlier, in the sales market, homes that are priced right and shows well will not last long. So when you see a listing that interests you, you will need to be ready to move on it right away. You may see a house go active on day one, and by the next day or the following, it may no longer be available because it's under contract. It may require you to drop what you're doing once you're notified of a new listing that meets your criteria, and plan to view it right away while also being prepared to submit an offer that same day. If your offer isn't accepted, don't dwell on that because you need to be ready to move on and jump on the next listing. There needs to be a sense of urgency until you find, go under contract, and close on your new home. And the last tip, you need to work with an experienced real estate agent. In this market, it is crucial to have an experienced professional to help you with your search while guiding you through the home buying process. Your real estate agent will be there to answer your questions and provide advice on matters that you're not certain about. I hope these tips were helpful. If you have any questions, message me below, and please share and like this video. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Take care, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.